Today I'm going to be sipping on my fave drink, coffee, while talking to my faves, you, about my favorites in crochet. Hey babes! Welcome back to Moonbae Crochet. It is Brandy, and today I wanted to do a video on my crochet favorites. Being a teenager / early 20 in the era of makeup tutorials and stuff on YouTube, you know, those YouTubers would always talk about their monthly favorites. I loved watching those videos. They were so fun to watch, and I thought, what if I just share my favorites as far as crochet is concerned? Obviously not a monthly thing. I'm just going to be talking about in general my favorite crochet things. But hey, if I start trying new things, trying out new patterns, trying out new yarns, maybe I can make this a more regular thing and share new things. But for now, I gathered up a list of my favorites in crochet just in general. And if you want to stay tuned, there will be a video coming out soon on my crochet least favorites. The crochet outcasts, if you will. The rejects that I hate. In case you are new here, my name is Brandy. I love to do crochet content on here, sharing patterns that I love, sometimes reading stories with you guys, showing off projects that I've made, and sometimes just having a crafty little chit chat with you all. So if that sounds interesting to you, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, sticking around. We have lots of fun here. And without further ado, let's hop right into my crochet favorites. Alright, so the first category that we're going to start with today for my crochet favorites is yarn, of course. The best category of them all. Now, if you guys were to go through my yarn stash, you would probably find 50 different brands, about 800 different skeins. I have so much in my collection, so I just put together a small list of my 6 faves. If somebody was like, oh, you know, if you were stuck on a desert island and all your normal needs were to be met, food and water and all that good stuff, you know, if you could have only 6 brands or 6 specific types of yarn, which ones would you want to have? These are the ones that I wrote down. Coming in hot with my tried and true favorite acrylic Big Twist Value. So incredible. The shade range is immaculate. I don't even know how many shades. There gotta be more than 50. Maybe between 50 and 80. There's so many shades to pick from. Any color you could possibly think of, you can probably find it in the Big Twist Value. And I find that as far as acrylics go, especially acrylics with a large shade range, the Big Twist Value is the softest acrylic out there, in my opinion, as far as basic value acrylics go. I think it works out very well if you want to make things blankets or wearables, because again, it's just so nice and soft. But it also works out very well for amigurumi and stuff, because it's just since it's soft, it's very flexible. It molds well to whatever shape you're trying to crochet. I don't find that it gets stiff and, you know, tough to work with when you're making small things like that. So yeah, Big Twist Value. It's got to be my number 1 acrylic yarn ever. Or shall I say basic acrylic yarn. Next up, we have Lion Brand Heartland. I always say Heartland. I don't know if it's Heartland, but whatever it is, Lion Brand Heartland is... that might be my favorite yarn just in general of all time. It's also a worsted weight acrylic yarn. It is so buttery soft, and the shades are just beautiful because it's not a flat color. There's always some a very, very light, I don't even know, a heathering throughout every single shade that you pick from the Lion Brand Heartland line. There's some slight heathering in it. For example, the black skein has slight gray heathering. Or the pink skein will have slight white heathering. It's just gorgeous. It makes the projects that you make with it look almost, you know, more dimensional, more you put, you know, work into it, that, you know, you just made the basic project, but it just looks more fancy schmancy. I don't know. Anytime I think about oh, I want to make a wearable, I want to make something gorgeous that somebody's going to be able to wear, Lion Brand Heartland is my automatic go-to yarn. That's just, I love it. 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 I cannot state it enough. Next up, we got a different type of yarn. We got the Juicy Couture Luxe Velour. Now, let me preface this by saying that now that Joann's is officially out of business, R.I.P. Queen, miss you, love you. And you know, I don't know if you guys heard the news that Michaels did acquire Joann, which is great, hopefully. I don't know. I've heard some stuff about how Michaels has acquired fallen crafty businesses in the past and hasn't done very well with like keeping up their whatever it was that made that, you know, business good. But so I hope that that isn't the case for Joann's. I hope Michael's does really expand on their fabric selection. And I hope, you know, I have heard that like Big Twist is going to be moving over to Michael's now, which is fantastic for us Big Twist lovers out there. But I have not heard anything. I mean, so basically I heard that like Michael's is going to be taking over all of the Joann like specific stuff. I can't think of the word. Exclusive. As far as I know, the Juicy Couture yarn was Joann exclusive. So I don't know if that means that Michael's will be taking over the Juicy Couture yarn as well. I hope that that means that, because it wasn't really until I mean, gosh, probably the last year that Joann was open that I first tried the Juicy Couture yarn. First of all, the shade range is gorgeous, and then they have, you know, their regular like velvety yarn, but then they also have ones with sparkles in it. And I have used sparkly yarn in the past. I have like a few skeins of Big Twist Twinkle, all that stuff. Sometimes yarn that has sparkles in it can, like the tinsel can get kind of caught up in the on the hook. It's a little bit annoying to work with sometimes. I still like it, but it can be like that. But I don't find that with the Juicy Couture Luxe Velour, like the sparkly version. It stays very well to the yarn. It's just such nice quality velvet. Like I probably would go as far as to say I think I like it better than Bernat velvet. It's just so beautiful, and I'm honestly really upset that I didn't get more in my like final times shopping at Joann. Like I got a few skeins, but I thought, you know, okay, one, I was trying not to overbuy. Meanwhile, I'm over here spending like $500 freaking dollars at Joann. But regardless, I'm like really upset now that Joann is closed. I'm like, oh my god, if Michael's doesn't pick it up, what's gonna happen with Juicy Couture Luxe Velour? Like I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's great to make amigurumi with. It's pretty much good for anything that you would use velvet for, except I find that it's even, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost as if you married a velvet and a chenille and kind of, you know, they made like a beautiful yarn baby. And I think Juicy Couture Luxe Velour is that, because I feel like it has the structural integrity of chenille, but like the soft butteriness of velvet. It's gorgeous. I love it. And I really hope that Michael's, please Michael's, come through. Okay, I know I've talked shit on you in the past, but now my girl Joann is gone and you're my only hope. So come through for me, Michael's. Come through. I'll be your new biggest customer. Whatever. Just please. Don't let me down. Staying in that same realm, my next yarn that is like one of my absolute faves is Premier Parfait Chunky. Premier Parfait Chunky is just such a gorgeous chenille yarn, and it doesn't give me, you know, I will say it is marketed as a size 6, even though like things like, oh, Sweet Snuggles Light and Chenille Home Slim are also marketed as a size 6. But to me, Premier Parfait Chunky runs closer to a size 5. I don't find it to be as thick as like the super bulkies out there in the world. So I think that is a little bit of a discrepancy. But I will say the structural integrity of the Premier Parfait Chunky is one of the greatest I've ever had or I've ever used as far as chenilles go. And I will say I think that the reason that Michael's hasn't brought out the Sweet Snuggles Light and the Chenille Home Slim yet, and they've taken it off the shelves for a while, is because of the complaints about how it was very not structurally sound, how people were just complaining that it was such bad quality. I will say, you know, like I loved the yarn, but it did have its issues, right? Like you try to crochet, like, or try to make your single crochets in the magic ring and then pull that tail. It's not happening. Like, no. So I hope that those issues get fixed, but I never ever experienced that issue with the Premier Parfait Chunky. I think it's so perfect as far as, you know, making these soft cutesy plushies and not really having the problems that you have as far as, you know, all chenille is going to shed to a point, right? But I find that like Sweet Snuggles Light, Chenille Home Slim, they shed way more, they rip way more. You know, if you're trying to frog or you're trying to like tighten things, And I don't find that I have that issue with the Premier Parfait Chunky, and it's just so beautiful. Not to mention the shade range is also huge, which is such a win in the like chenille family, because sometimes I feel like, I mean, I don't know, you just have to like buy from different brands or whatever if you want like very specific colors, but I feel like the shade range that Premier Parfait Chunky offers, it's just huge. Like you could probably get a majority of what you need from just that, you know, brand. Another one of my faves, which was actually a very like a surprise to me, and I'm pretty sure I've been over this, but hey, you might be new here, so is a Bernat baby blanket. So I never really knew that I was going to love that, and I probably wouldn't have tried it if my man hadn't surprised me with a ball of it one day, because I bought myself, I mean, it had to have been like 2 years ago by now, a couple balls of Bernat blanket, because I just see so many people using it. It looks so pretty, so fluffy and cute. Oh, I despised it. I despised it. It was so thick. It was so just, such a pain to work with. So, I probably never would have gone out of my way to try Bernat baby blanket, but one day my man came home and he was like, oh, like I have a little surprise for you, right? And he pulled out this variegated skein of Bernat baby blanket, right? And I didn't want to make him feel bad. He doesn't know what yarn is good and not, right? He just saw a ball of yarn. It was like purple with pink and white flecks in it. And he thought of me, and I thought, that is like the sweetest thing ever, right? Like it's just, I could melt right now just talking about it. So I took the yarn, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, you know. And it did take me a while to actually pull it out and use it. But one day, oh, you know what? I don't know if it was the first time I ever got it or whatever, but all I know is I was super sick in bed, and I thought, okay, like I've just been rotting in bed for days, like I'm so bored, let me do something, right? So I grabbed that skein of yarn because it was so like cutesy, right? And I thought, let me just try to make something, and I made a loaf cap. And the second I started working with it, I was like, oh, this is much better than Bernat blanket. Like they should just switch the formula of Bernat blanket to be this, because it was just so much better. I don't know if it was just because it was slightly thinner. I don't know what exactly the huge difference is between the two. All I know is Bernat baby blanket is incredible. Worlds above Bernat blanket. And so I'm really glad that my man surprised me with that one skein, because had he not done that, I wouldn't have known that I love it so much. And now, like, I live in a tiny apartment, y'all. I don't have a ton of room for like storage and stuff in the apartment, but we do have a little like storage room outside in our patio. And I have like not just a regular garbage bag, bro. I have a freaking like black, like the Costco industrial sized garbage bag, just full of Bernat baby blanket that I bought during the Joann's going out of business sale, because I was like, even though like, yeah, I can get that stuff at Michael's, but I'm like, but it's on sale here right now, so I don't know. Anyway, logic, but I do love it. I do love it. It's perfect. Wonderful to make plushies with, and obviously to make blankets with, of course, but yeah, I love making cutesy, fluffy plushies. And the last yarn that I'm going to bring up for my faves of yarn, even though like I could probably go on for days about this, but the last one that I wrote down for today is Loops and Threads Impeccable. I think it's by Loops and Threads. I hope I'm not making that up, but the like name of the line is Impeccable. And to me, that is another acrylic that is just super soft, buttery, and it's like beautiful. It comes in these like soft shades. Like I mean, it could also come in like bright shades if you want, but just like something about it, I don't even know how to explain this. It reminds me of Lion Brand Heartland. Not quite up there, but it's up there. It's close, but it's more, it's like flat shades, you know, kind of like the Big Twist value, but even softer and almost like slightly thicker than like a basic value acrylic. But something about it, it's just so lovely to work with. The only caveat I have to this is that I don't know if it's just me or if I've just had bad luck. Every time I work with a skein of the Loops and Threads Impeccable, I have such a hard time finding the middle pull. Like, I don't know if it's the way that the yarn is wound or something like that, but I find I always get tangles in it. Like, something about it. You know, I pull it and then you kind of get stuck, so you pull it harder, and then you pull out like a little yarn bar for a little yarn critter, whatever you want to call them, right? You got to undo that, and then it's fine again for a while until you get another one. Like, I don't know exactly their manufacturing process. I don't know how that happens, but it happens to me every single time I use it. Does anybody else have this? This is a very like niche and specific thing that I'm like talking about right here, but I don't know. I find that happens every time I work with the Impeccable, but I will say the quality of the yarn kind of speaks for itself, and it does make up for that fact. So I can deal with a little yarn barf, a little yarn critter here and there, if it means that the yarn is going to be good quality. Okay, the next category of my crochet faves that we're going to be talking about is tools. And I actually only have one thing listed under here, and it is my Clover Amour hooks. When I first really started getting into crochet, you know, I bought myself like a cheap set of crochet hooks on Amazon, and you know what? They served their purpose. I was able to use them for quite a while. I got just like basic ergonomic hooks that have the grips. I got from sizes like 2.5 all the way up to a 10. It came with like a little holder. It came with a couple yarn needles. It came with stitch markers. Like, it was like a full set of somebody who is like barely starting out, you know, crocheting, and they worked well. But, you know, the more you use them, and, you know, it was very, you know, not inexpensive. It was very inexpensive. I think definitely like you get what you pay for type of thing. So I used them so much that eventually the ergonomic grip started to kind of slip off the hook. Some of them got so loose, like to where I could pull the hook out with very little resistance of the ergonomic grip. And when I tell you that while you're working on a crochet project and you can feel the ergonomic grip slipping, that is not comfortable. It feels very odd. It feels weird. Like, why is this moving around? I need this to be sturdy, right? So eventually, my mom actually gifted me a set of the Clover Amour hooks, because I had mentioned to her like that I was thinking of buying myself some, and my mom is just that kind. My mom loves to gift. I think that's where I get my gifting spirit from. My mom really loves to like just do nice things for other people, but especially me, because I'm her angel or whatever. But my mom bought me the set of Clover Amour hooks, and I would not trade them for the world. Well, okay, for the world, yes, that's a little dramatic, but I just mean, I don't think I'll ever use another brand of hook again unless I'm trying to do something like tapestry, you know, like with the long hooks or whatever. But seriously, that is like the best investment that I didn't even make myself. My mom made it. But the best investment, I think, is these Clover Amour hooks. I would absolutely say they're worth the price. Like, if you feel like, oh, it's too much, I can't really swing it right now, I would say just, you know, get by with what you have and just try to save up, you know, and just so you can try them out. Or even, I think that they sell them by the singles, but I feel like that might be even more expensive. But they are definitely worth it. I've been using them now for, I don't know, a year or two, and they're definitely like, I can like yank on the like shank part of the hook. Is that what you call it? I don't know. The metal part of the hook. I can yank on it and hold the ergonomic grip tight, and I feel like it's still not budging. Like, and there's been some times where I'm crocheting and I'm like, oh no, like is the grip like slipping, like is it whatever, and then I test it and I'm like, oh no, like that must have just been me. I don't know what it is, but they are such good quality. The ergonomic grips are holding up strong, and you know, I crochet a lot, so I feel like that goes to show, you know, especially too, I feel like I use the same hooks over and over again. Like, you know, I have a wide range of hook sizes, but the ones that I typically go for, you know, due to whatever project I'm working on, is usually always like 4.5, or maybe like 4.5, 5. Those are like the three main ones, and then maybe a 5.5. But yeah, and like I use them constantly and still no signs of wear and tear on them, and I love that. I love that. Such good quality. I cannot harp on that enough. Clover Amour is the GOAT. Okay. Next category that we're going to be speaking about on my crochet faves is projects. This is another fun one. So one of my favorite crochet projects to make, to watch people make, to see people wear, cardigans. Whether they are hexagon cardigans, whether they are, you know, just crochet cardigans in general with like panels and you like sew them together. Whatever it is, I love a crochet cardigan. They always look so beautiful, so cozy, so just soft and lovely. Oh my gosh, I can't. And I will say, For the Frills, Grace from For the Frills, she has so many gorgeous crochet cardigan patterns. Every single time I see a video of her, or I even go on her blog and look at them, I'm like, I need to like go rush and grab my yarn right now. Like I need to make this cardigan now. I love a crochet cardigan. They're just so beautiful. I recently saw a video of Amanda Makes. She kind of responded to my open crochet tag call, and the hexagon cardigan that she was wearing in that video, and then she showed another one that she had made also in that same video. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Like, I can't. It was so beautiful. You guys should go check out Amanda Makes crochet tag video, the cardigan that she's wearing. When I tell you, as soon as I clicked on the video to watch it, the first thing that came to my head, I was like, that cardigan is so pretty. And it really made me want to like get up and grab my yarn like that instant and start making a hexagon cardigan. I was like, okay, girl, chill out, but I love a crochet cardigan. I do. A couple more of my fave projects are cozies and coasters. I love a good excuse to use cotton yarn. I will say, because of the natural fibers and stuff, cotton yarn does make me sneeze quite a bit, but gosh, I love a good useful crochet pattern. I love a good useful crochet item. I use my little like crochet, I have one singular crochet coaster in the living room. I have a whole set of marble coasters, and I have cork coasters that I think I got like at Hobby Lobby one time. I thought they were cute. They had like crochet sayings on them, and I was like, oh, that's adorable, right? Even though I feel like cork isn't like the best coaster material. I feel like the condensation just kind of sits on them. And also, like my stone coasters, like my marble ones, don't really, the liquid doesn't sit on them, but I also feel like the liquid does kind of like set into them, and then it's left with like rings, which is not great. So the coaster that gets the most use out there in my living room is my singular sunflower crochet coaster. I made it out of cotton yarn. I don't remember the pattern that I used for it right now, but it looks kind of like this. And you guys, I love a crochet coaster, and I feel like when I give them to people, especially like, men in my family or whatever, or if they're at like family's house and there's like crochet coasters that I've made, they don't want to use them because they're feeling like, oh, like they don't want to mess it up. But I'm like, no, you won't mess it up. That's the whole point of it. It's so perfect because if you have a hot drink, it's going to protect whatever surface that it's sitting on. But if you have a cold drink that's going to have a lot of condensation, like already, do you see the moisture? You might not, but the moisture that's kind of collecting on the side of my mason jar here for my iced coffee. I drink iced drinks all the time. And the absorption, absorption, is that a word? The absorption power? The absorbing power? The absorbing power, that sounds right, of the crochet coasters is incredible. I cannot harp on it enough. It's so perfect. You don't have to worry about like the condensation of your glass getting all over your table or whatever surface you're at, because the cotton yarn just soaks it right up, and then they're easy. You could just throw them in the wash if they get a little something on them, and let them air dry, and they're perfect, good as new. And they come in so many cute patterns, also flower ones, or there's the ones that are like plain in the middle, but then they're like flowers on the outside, and then you like twist them up to look like a little bouquet, and you put them in a little holder that looks like a pot. Those are so cute. I've seen pretty ones that Jade and Stitches has made like for Christmas that look like little presents. Coasters, man, it's something so simple, but I think that they come in handy, and they're cute. Like, you can't get better than that. And then cozies, I love a cozy too, because like, why not stop the condensation right at the source? Stick a cozy around your drink, and then it'll just start to absorb while it's, on your drink. You don't even have to worry about a coaster. I love that for like cans, like soda cans, beer cans, or like the slim cans that you use, like, you know, you drink seltzers out of or whatever. Those are really good. There's also cozies for like hot drinks, like the to-go coffee cups, or even like the reusable ones that are like the same shape as the to-go coffee cups that come with like lids and stuff. There's cozies. I even see people make cozies, and I've wanted to do this for years now, and I just have not got around to it. But cozies for an ice cream pint. Hello, that's so freaking adorable. One, and two, who of us does not just eat the ice cream straight out of the ice cream pint? Like, I think everybody does that because, you know, it's so little. It's like personal size, right? And I'm not saying eat it all in one sitting, but if you want to, that's your prerogative, queen or king. The one part that's the worst about it is holding it, because then your hand is freezing while you're trying to enjoy your ice cream. Throw a cute little pint cozy on that and you're good to go. I just love it. Cozies and coasters are just so useful, so beautiful. I just can't. And then I have kind of like a list of amigurumi that are like some of my faves. Turtles, of course, you guys know. I make turtles on the reg. My favorite turtle crochet designer is Happy Turtle Crochet. I shout her out all the time. I'm just obsessed. She has so many cute themed turtles, and I know a lot of people might think that they're overrated. Personally, I could never. I think that they're just so fun. They make great gifts. They're just so cute. I just love all the different little themes. Then also I love loaf cats and loaf dogs. One, I feel like you can easily make one in one sitting, like easy, like 1 to maybe 2 hour project max. They're so quick and they're so squishy and cute. I love it. This video is making me like extremely happy. Can you guys tell? Like, I just really want to stop recording right now and go crochet. But I think I'm gonna film my crochet least faves right after this. I probably should have saved this one, right? For the end. Like, save the best for last kind of thing. Oh well. And then also I love an amigurumi with an outfit. I design astrology themed bears, and okay, I only have about 5 of them designed so far. Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. So I don't have the other ones made yet, but I will. I have all my sketches laid out for them already. I just really have to put in the work to do them, to make them. That way I can release the patterns and release the bears for you guys. So my apologies if you are not one of those zodiac signs that I already have done, but I am working on it. And anyway, I designed them specifically to look like they are wearing onesies. Like, this is the bear's skin color, you know? So I wanted it to look like she's wearing a ram onesie. And then, like, I have the Taurus one here. I wanted it to look like he was wearing a longhorn cow or like a bull onesie. You know, this is his skin color. And I love an amigurumi in an outfit. There's also like patterns like this from, I think it's the Stitch Studio CA on Etsy. But like, you know, this little cherry applique is not like part of the pattern, but like the hat and the overalls. Something about a little amigurumi wearing clothes is the cutest thing in the world to me. They just give it a little touch of personality, you know, because there's so many amigurumi patterns that are just the animal, which of course are beautiful and cute, but something about giving them clothing, I love it. It gives me Build-A-Bear vibes. I used to love Build-A-Bear as a kid, and so that's kind of the vibe that I like. Okay, and the last project for today, because again, this list could have gone on forever too. I love so many projects, but the last project that I'm going to list for today is cat ear beanies. Cat ear beanies are so freaking adorable, first of all. And, you know, whatever, maybe like that's not your style. If you think that it looks kind of silly to be wearing cat ears as a beanie or whatever, that's your lot in life. Personally, I think that they're adorable. I don't care how old you are. I think it would look cute if a baby was in a cat ear beanie, and I think it looks just as cute for a fully grown adult to be in a cat ear beanie. Cat ear beanies are just so fun and so easy. It takes literally no skill at all. You literally just have to make a large rectangle, whatever stitch you love. Like my personal favorite stitch is a half double crochet, but you can do double crochet. You can do singles if you want. You could even do slip stitches if you want to make it really ribbed, but that would also take forever, I feel, but whatever. That's your prerogative. Fold it, sew both sides together, flip up the brim, and then just the rectangle. It creates the little cat ears. I love them. I love them to death. I have a video, kind of like, not really a tutorial, but sort of like a walkthrough on how to make one. So if you want to go check that out, the video is right there. A cat ear beanie is one of the best accessories in crochet of all time. I said what I said. And lastly, for my crochet faves, I have my miscellaneous category. Let me actually grab the items so I can show you what I'm talking about. All right, so the first item that I wrote down on my miscellaneous category for crochet faves is something that you would probably not typically think of when it comes to crochet, but it is so useful. I think I heard somebody on TikTok talking about it once and I was like, what? Do I need to try that? So I did. It's amazing. It is a breastfeeding pillow. Now this sounds like crazy, right? But you know, if there are any moms out there that like still have one of these and you've never even thought about that, try it, I promise you. But I've never had a baby or anything, but I just bought this on Amazon. You don't have to have a baby to get something like this. And it's so perfect, especially if you like to crochet in bed or at your favorite chair. I don't know how many of you can relate to this, probably a lot, because I feel like I was like this, but crocheting, just using your own arm power, trying to like hold your arms up so that you can see your project, that creates a lot of tension in your shoulders, your elbows, like, or just like the back right here, like trying to hold your arms up. Sometimes you gotta like shove pillows under your arms to like kind of try to relax them. But if you use one of these things, it takes a lot of that like work out of it. You literally just sit at whatever your favorite, place to crochet is. You put it around yourself like this, and then you can look at my arms. No power. Then you can hold your project right here, and it alleviates so much of that tension, so much of that uncomfortable position. It's just incredible. It helps you completely relax while you're doing your project. And I will say, I don't even pull mine out as often as I should. A lot of times it's like, oh, it's in the other room, I'm too lazy to get up and get it. But every time I use it, I'm like, dang, this really helps. It really does help. Definitely give it a try if you've never done it before. It really helps you to take some of that pain out of the work here. Next up, under my miscellaneous crochet faves, is a hand warmer. Now this, I don't know if any of you can relate, but sometimes when I start to crochet, all of a sudden like my fingers will start feeling very cold, or like my hands in general. My hands kind of are always cold, but sometimes when I start, doing work with them or crocheting, my hands get like ice blocks, right? And I have to like tell my man like, hey, give me your hands real quick, right? And I put my one hand in between his two hands because his hands are always warm. Gotta like warm them up a bit. Well, he got me this for Christmas or Valentine's Day last year or something like that, and it is so cool. You can charge it. It has like a little USB-C thing, and you just turn it on. I don't even know if mine is alive right now. Oh, it is. You turn it on, and it has 3 little settings here. So like that's the first one. Oh wait. Oh, it did die. Okay, but anyway, it has 3 heat settings, and 3 actually does get extremely hot. So like you don't have to hold it for too long in order to feel the effects. I just kind of hold it like this if my fingertips are feeling really cold, or like this if one hand is like colder than the other, or kind of like take shifts. But this thing works wonders. Just give it like maybe 10-15 minutes and your hands will be feeling like brand new, nice and warm again, and it's just perfect. Perfect if you suffer with the cold hands when crocheting like I do. And lastly, in my crochet faves miscellaneous category, we have compression gloves. Now, I don't use these that often, but my man did surprise me with them for, again, I don't know, Christmas or Valentine's Day, something like that. But these actually work very well on days where I'm crocheting a lot and my hands are starting to feel almost like achy, but I don't want to stop. You just throw these gloves on, and they are tight, like they're supposed to be compressing, right? But you throw them on and then you start working, and it does take a little bit to get used to, right? Like if you're just used to only crocheting with your bare hands and not having something like this on, it can take a little while to get used to for sure, but the compression really does work. Like crocheting with it on does take a lot of the stress off of like the joints and stuff like that. You're crocheting, and again, it does take a while to get used to because it almost feels like you can't grip your hook quite as tight, but that's kind of the point. If you're in pain, you do need something to kind of like alleviate, especially if you don't want to stop crocheting for the night, for the day, whatever. Throw these bad boys on, maybe like go half hour on, half hour off sort of thing, whatever you want. But these actually do alleviate a lot of that pressure that you feel in your wrist, right here, like in your knuckles and stuff like that while you're crocheting. And they come in so many different colors. You obviously got me pink because I love pink, but yeah. This one, I will say though, the tips being out and then everything else being compressed, it does also add to the like, oh my gosh, my fingertips are freezing. But you know, then you got the hand warmer. So those are my crochet faves. Please let me know what your crochet favorites are down below, whether they are yarn or projects, miscellaneous things that I maybe have never heard of. Whatever you got, please let me know. Like I said earlier, I will be doing a video soon on my crochet least faves because I have quite a bit of them as well. I am a hater to my core. But I wanted to thank you guys all so much for being here as always. I so appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, I would so appreciate you giving it a like. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day, week, month, and night. Whatever you're having, please enjoy yourself. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.